Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine on this Tuesday morning, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, wherever you are in the world. Really appreciate it, guys. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, all that generous stuff would be very, very appreciated, guys. Thank you so much. All the algorithms need to get algorithm in, don't they, guys? Absolutely. But thank you so much for joining me. Let's get into some Manchester United news. Obviously, I spoke last week. I was the first to break it about Ederson. Of course, Ederson is the Atalanta midfielder. Of course, Man United were linked to him. I think it was about nearly a year ago Man United were linked to Ederson. It does seem like this Ederson thing has been going on for quite a while, isn't it? His contract is expiring soon. He is valued at around 40 million still. So Man United are still interested in Ederson, guys. Now, look, I did break it last week. Sorry, guys, to be like a little bit smug, but I did say it last week about Man United and Ederson and stuff like that. And lo and behold, the media, the big content creators are starting to talk about Ederson. You know what I mean? Fine. Look, guys, good. Come on. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But, guys, look, Ederson to Manchester United, it's gone a little bit quiet in regards to Ederson. I mean, I don't know whether it's his performances. Obviously, Atalanta had that big season where they got in the Champions League. We'll remember when Ronaldo scored those last-minute goals and stuff, or we salvaged the draw in Atalanta, of course. Remember that? They haven't done as well as they have done. Obviously, that's the way it is with certain football clubs, like Atalanta, who don't have the budget and have to sell their best players and stuff. But Ederson, funny enough, still plays for Atalanta. Obviously, before it was like Ederson was going to sign for a Saudi Arabian club on big money and stuff like that. But that is not materialized. So he's still at Atalanta. And Manchester United look as though they're going to test Atalanta's resolve with a cheeky bid in January, guys. What do you think of that? Would you be happy with Ederson at the football club? Now, look, it is between Ederson and Conor Gallagher. Now, Manchester United could possibly do a deal for two midfielders, guys. Two midfielders, Conor Gallagher on loan and Ederson as a full transfer, guys, as a permanent deal. Now, obviously, Conor Gallagher is a little bit of a complicated one because Conor Gallagher and Atletico Madrid are, Atletico Madrid basically want a full deal. They want an obligation to buy it, or they want a deal up front. Of course, Man United are not willing to do that at the moment. They're not willing to give money to Atalanta in regards to a transfer for Conor Gallagher. They want a loan deal. This is what Atalanta don't want to do. Of course, no surprise. Of course, guys. Very underrated player is Conor Gallagher, but so is Ederson. And these two midfielders would help Man United. I mean, more importantly, they would help Man United. They would help Man United progress. They'll help Man United get better. This is the thing. As long as players can help Man United get better, this is what's most important thing. Because, look, at the moment we're worried, isn't it, about the AFCON coming up very, very soon, guys. That's around the corner. We need players to fix the squad, basically. Our squad is very threadbare. It's very thin, and to be honest, we need to build it up a little bit. We need to build up our squad to be competitive because, look, guys, when you analyze where we are at the moment as a football club this season, it's been all right. It's been all right. We've done kind of what we expected to do, according to other people, where we are about 6th, 7th place, But the great thing about it, guys, is that we are in touching distance with the top 4. And how do we solidify and move to that next level to get into that top 4? It's basically investing in the squad, investing in the team. That's what Man United need to do. And hopefully they will do that in January. I mean, I really do hope so, because I know and that Liverpool, that Chelsea, that Arsenal, that Man City are going to invest in January. And what did Man City do a year ago? They invested, The great thing, what I would say about investing in January, let me tell you about the investment in January, how it benefits Manchester United. For example, if Manchester United went out there and purchased, for example, Anderson. Man United purchased Anderson in January. By the time next season comes, the player would have already settled down, would already know about Man United would already know the club, would already played a few games for Man United, will already be ready for the next season. That's what's great about it. It is quite an area of the club that we don't really focus on. We don't really do deals in January, which is really, really strange, because you know what? You get that player in and then they get settled down in the first few months, and then next season, they're ready, guys. And that's what we need to capitalize on. We don't really capitalize on these things, guys. We don't. And sad as it is, like, it's Bruno Fernandes was the last time we actually done a proper deal in January, if you know what I mean. And obviously Bruno Fernandes became a very good player at Man United for the last 10 years. Of course, now it's starting to get a little bit treacherous, but he was probably the best signing post Sir Alex Ferguson, of course, guys. What I would say about that, do you know what I mean? So yeah, look, I would say, definitely, Conor Gallagher and Ederson. Now, if it was between one or the other, Ederson or Conor Gallagher, I'm going for Ederson. But you know what? What I would say is that Conor Gallagher should not be sniffed at, guys. Conor Gallagher should not be sniffed at. There should be no slander in regards to Conor Gallagher. Now, I find it really disgruntling. How would I say it? Disorientating, annoying, should I say, that people are playing down Conor Gallagher because it's not like a fashionable signing. It's not one of those signings that you would look at and think, wow, I'm going to put that at the back of my shirt. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it just doesn't fill you with like, what? Yeah. You know what I mean? But guys, and I take it back. Rewind. Can I get a rewind? Can I get a rewind? Guys, when I take it back all the way back, way back into time, when I take it back and I take it back to Michael Carrick, I, for one, was guilty. I'm guilty as charged, guys. I was guilty that I didn't rate the transfer of Michael Carrick. When it happened, I was like, yeah, Carrick, yeah, Spurs, you know? Very, very ignorant of myself. Very, very ignorant of myself. But I should never, ever doubt Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson knew what the hell he was doing. He knows what he's doing. Knows what go on. He knows what he's doing, guys. And he knew what he was doing. And obviously, Michael Carrick became a Manchester United legend. A Man United legend. How about that? A Man United legend who actually wins things. That is a Man United legend for me. So at the end of the day, yeah, look, I'm not going to totally turn my back on Conor Gallagher. I'm not going to say, oh, Conor Gallagher, no, man, he's rubbish, man. He's just another overrated English player. And that's another thing. Look, I'm tired of this overrated English player thing. What, England, who are second in the world at the moment, been to 2. How many finals England been to? 2 finals in the last few years? I mean, come on, guys. Stop being like that. You know what I mean? It's not about that. It's not about where they're from. It's about ability. And look, it might not work out for him at Atletico Madrid, but when you look at Atletico Madrid, right? Atletico Madrid is a place that suits a certain type of player. English players notoriously haven't really done well at Atletico Madrid. It's not one of those clubs where English players fit in. Of course, it's a very Spanish club. Of course, they've got a lot of South American, Argentinian, Uruguayan players that play there who've done well there. But it's always going to be a task for Conor Gallagher to perform well at Atletico Madrid. But he didn't do that badly. Like, I'm not going to throw the book at it and say, like, oh, he was crap, he was this. He wasn't. That's a lie. He done all right at Atletico Madrid. He done okay at Atletico Madrid. And you know what? He's done his call. He's been there a couple of years now. And people say, oh, well, he failed at Chelsea. Why did he become an England international if he failed at Chelsea? You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. But also, Ederson. Ederson, of course, has gone quiet. But then again, look, guys, can I just be honest with you guys? I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people will say, let's get Ederson, because his name's Ederson. If his name was Fred Smith, people won't be saying anything. Oh, well, he's crap. He hasn't really done anything this last 2 years. Hasn't really done anything at Atlanta, stuff like that. And this is what happens. This is the fickleness, if there even is a word, of modern day football. It's ridiculous, honestly. But yeah, look, I'm happy if Man United invest in the squad, because Man United's squad is ridiculously thin, and that has been proven over the last few games, of course, guys. Absolutely. Now, taking it back to the weekend, of course, Manchester United had a great result against Crystal Palace. It hasn't been said enough. A great result against Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace haven't lost at home since February, of course, guys. So until Man United came running into town and the Reds go marching on, of course, guys. But this is the thing, isn't it? Anyone would have thought anyone would have thought that the Mandem crew, that we would have lost the game. We lost the game at the weekend. That is how it is at the end of the day. Unfortunately, guys, Ruben Amorim is not going to succeed with these people. There are people that are very, very pessimistic about Ruben Amorim, and they have every right to be so in regards to certain parts of our results over the last few years, or last year or so. Of course, they have every right to be that. They have every right to be concerned. But if you cannot see improvements in Manchester United right now, if you cannot see the change in tide at the moment, I think you're just being very stubborn in your opinion, and you're worshipping your opinion, and you're supporting your opinion rather than supporting the football club at the end of the day, right? We're looking at Man United. Man United are one of the form teams in England at the moment. When you look at the results, we're one of the form teams in England. If Man United go and beat West Ham, guys, come on. Then we're going to start getting into the realms of top four. So, look, guys, isn't this a time to be a little bit more calm? Isn't this a time to be a little bit more supportive? Is this not the time, guys? This is a Premier League that is very, very competitive. There's loads of teams on similar points and stuff. And if Man United manage to get ahead of the crowd into that top four, and then again, you never know what's going to happen in top four. You never know where we can go from there. Then you know what? You can't be slandering Ruben Amorim, who had a 4 out of 10 transfer window, guys. You know what I mean? You still got Dalot, still got Shaw, still got Maguire, still got Bruno, still got Mount, still got Casemiro. Can we just be a little bit fair here? Can we stop the man-dem talk? Man-dem, as soon as you say man-dem anyway, you go down in level in IQ. You know what I mean? That is a low IQ. As a guy from East London would know, that's a low IQ. You know what I mean? You're the man-dem, bruv. You know what I mean? The man-dem. At the end of the day, look, your opinion on football is definitely, a man-dem will not manage a big football team. Let me tell you that right now. Right, so at the end of the day, look, and I'm deemed a man-dem, by the way, because I am from the man-dem sort of areas and ends and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna call things as they are. Do you know what I mean? The dumb down of the football opinion world is crazy at the end of the day, you know. And if I see another Man United fan who knows nothing about the history of Man United, nothing about the legacy or the standards that we hold, and actually the principles that we have, then you know what? I'm gonna lose my bloody mind. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my shit. Absolutely. But guys, thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Let me just say hello to the community. Absolutely good to see everyone in the stream, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the community. Big up, Max. What's going on, my guy? Hope you're doing well. Good to see Max from Sydney, Australia, mate. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, fella. Big up, Benny, the legend of Benny. What's going on, Benny? How you doing, my bro? Hope you're good. Hope you're feeling fine. I mean, I know it was a bad game for you. Didn't you go to the Everton game, didn't you? It was sad. Sorry about that, my friend. Good morning, Sanj. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Ryan. Morning, guys. Some United fans, I just heard that they hate this football club and hate everything about this football club. And I'll just reply, go and find another football club. How can they hate the football club? You know what, guys? Let me tell you something about football, supporting a football team. I come from an area called Leighton in East London. There's a football club there called Leighton Orient, right? And they're in the lower divisions. They've always been in League One, League Two, or Division Two, Division Three back in the day. They've always been around that area. You know, they've never been competing in the Premier League for the Championship and that. The closest they got is almost in the Championship, the playoff League One playoff finals in the summer. That's the closest they get. But I see people traveling around the world to see Leighton Orient, you know, to see them play, right? To see that football club, just to watch their favorite football club, Leighton Orient. Unfortunately, we have a nucleus of fans that are very entitled, that they feel like, oh, Man United should be winning. We should be successful. Relatively, we're still winning trophies and stuff like that. But look, listen, they supported Man United 10 years ago. That's when they started supporting Man United. That's when they started becoming fans of Man United. 10 years ago is when they started becoming fans of Man United. 10, 15 years ago when they saw the Champions League for the first time. For goodness me, I was sitting in bloody 1999 New Camp watching Man United win the Champions League, guys. So at the end of the day, and I came from Man United not winning anything at the beginning when I was supporting Man United at the end of the day. These people don't understand. They just think football is all about success. That's what it is. We win trophies, not understanding that the big part of Man United's success is our adversity. It's the adversity of Man United. That is a big part of our success. There's too many entitled man-dem out there who think that, you know what, but supporting a football team is just about winning trophies. It's just about winning and bantering. That's it at the end of the day. And you know, at the end of the day, if you hate this football club, if you hate Matt Busby, Sir Bobby Charlton, George Best, Duncan Edwards, Dennis Law, if you hate everything about this football club, then absolutely, royally, politely F off. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Because at the end of the day, you think there's people who travel. Look, listen, let me tell you another thing about when Leighton Orient were playing, right? There was a guy who used to travel from New York every month to see his team at least once a month. And that's what I'm talking about. Look, Man United deserve success. They will be successful. The cream always rises to the top, so to speak. But one thing is, guys, don't base your support on basically trophies and success. You base your support on the heart, on love for the football club. That's what you base your support on. You don't support a football team otherwise because of trophies. Otherwise, you're just a glory hunter. That's all you are. And that's what most of the man them are. They're glory hunters. They want success. And because we're not getting success, I hate this football club. I hate it. I can't take it anymore. I hate this football club. That's what they are. The man them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So guys, listen, I don't come from just a footballing background. I come from a music background. I have my own record label. Before YouTube became a thing, right? I was on YouTube, right? Doing music videos, getting millions of views and stuff like that because I'm doing it because for the love of it. Well, I may not be making enough money. It may have been difficult. I traveled around the world, ended up doing it myself. Do you know what I mean? Not because I wanted to be a millionaire, I wanted to be famous, but because I loved music and my brother was a musician and we nurtured that talent and it became on TV, worked with platinum selling artists, Eminem, D12, G Unit and stuff like that. This is what happened with me, right? So before YouTube became a thing, right, we were already elevating up. If YouTube wasn't around, these man them wouldn't have a voice, absolutely, unless they get Mark Goldbridge to give them a platform. This is exactly what it is at the end of the day. So look, I'm tired of people saying they hate this football club. They hate this football club because at the end of the day, I urge you, stop saturating YouTube and just go elsewhere and do something else. Because at the end of the day, you don't understand what it is to support a football team. Absolutely. Big up Ryan, my guy. Big up my friend. Big up David. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Gallagher and Anderson will be a great Anderson and Walton in Edison. Sorry, Anderson and Edison. Imagine Man United, David, got Anderson and Edison. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? Gallagher and Edison will be great. Anderson and Walton in the summer can dream, but history and success attracts these type of core in the team. Come on, David. That's what it's all about, my guy. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Sam. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, bro. Good to see Sam back in the house. And big up Kenny, the legend. What's going on, my guy? Hope your battery is good today. There was some channel Tactical Devils, and they said it was Dead Ball Tactics. Tactical Devils, so from some snowman. I don't know whatever guy where he's from, but and Tactical Devils. Tactical. I mean, it'd be very, very hard to find Tactical Devils with whatever his name is. I know who you mean. It rings a bell. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? These people are just like lack of patience. I mean, look, because some people just want to live up the arse of Nuruddin and people like that. You know what I mean? They don't have unfair play to Nuruddin. He has his opinion, and that's respectable. But at the end of the day, some people want to live up the backside of him and want a copy of it because he gives me a platform. You know what I mean? And I can feed him to my 200 subscribers. It's ridiculous, guys. Do you know what I mean? It does make me laugh. It really does. Sam, this is the time to shine. We need two good January signings to take United to top 5. We are losing 3 players to AFCON. Absolutely, Sam. This is very important. It is something that I'm concerned about. It doesn't keep me up at night. There's a lot of more important things that go on. But I do think about it sometimes, about the AFCON coming up very, very soon, because I'm concerned about the right-hand side of our pitch and Bremo, Ahmad and all that. I am concerned about it. I am very concerned about it. And obviously, you would be hard-fetched not to be, because Man United squad is weak, and we have to be realistic and objective in regards to that in particular. And I really do hope that he's back. The key is, right, is between the 21st of December and 1st of January, right? Because in that little period there, we can't sign any players. We can't sign any, no players can come in between that little period there, right? So what the thing is that Man United had to survive that period, right? And without Mbremo, without Ahmad, without Mazraoui as well. So it's going to be difficult, but it's going to be difficult for other teams as well. And we hope it is difficult for other teams, because we're in a position at the moment at Man United where, we can work our way up, you know what I mean, and get into that Champions League position. And this is what's frustrating me, of course, guys. But I love the AFCON, love African football, by the way, love it. Grew up with it. My favorite international team was Nigeria, of course, from 1994 to 1998, with the likes of Amakachi and JJ Okocha and Taribo West. Of course, guys, guys, listen, I come from a background as well of African football. I worked in Tunisia and stuff like that with African football and stuff. And I understand the passion for it. And, at the end of the day, Of course, I love Manchester United, and I'm going to rather say selfishly that I love Manchester United, and I love Manchester United more than any other football. And I want Man United to be successful. And obviously, I'm going to be selfish in regards to that. Of course, I am. Because obviously, Man United are in a position at the moment right now, as we stand, where we could possibly get into those Champions League positions. And I don't want Man United getting to the end of the season with a game to go or the last game of the season, and we miss out on Champions League football by a point because we dropped some points during December and January. You know what I mean? This is what I'm concerned about. And, you have everyone has every right to be concerned about their favorite football club, of course, guys. Absolutely. Benny, I used to watch Leyton Orient, Sal. I lived in Barking. Really? I used to work in Barking, Benny. Small world in the 90s for 6 months. But if United were in London, I was at that game. Absolutely. Me too. I used to go to Upton Park quite a lot. I'm lucky to have my brothers played at Upton Park and stuff like that in regards to celebrity football matches and stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely. Leyton Orient was my back garden. I used to live in Windsor Road. I used to live there. Floodlight was right slap bang in my garden, to be honest with you, guys. And yeah, look, great times, good times, great times. But Leyton Orient were run by Barry Hearn, who I know. Barry Hearn and Eddie Hearn, who I know quite well, and didn't really invest in the football club, guys. Absolutely. Brisbane Road is where Leyton Orient played. Yeah, the Matchroom Stadium. I lived in Windsor, just around the corner. So if you go Brisbane Road, you go there. I used to live at the end of that. If you know Terry Flewers of the Football Terrace, me and him lived literally a stone's throw from each other. We lived a stone's throw from each other. So we're basically homies. So he needs to support the brother a little bit more, isn't he? He needs to support his homies a little bit more. Absolutely. Rather than the Americans over in the States. He needs to support his brothers. You know what I mean? Brothers in arms. Absolutely. East End for life. Absolutely. But yeah, we're the East End. We're the Cockney Manx. That's what we are. That's what we're known as. But the difference between me and other Man United fans is that I actually used to travel to see Man United. I used to go around the world to watch Man United, you know what I mean? Even though I lived in East London, I would go around the world. What I used to do, guys, let me give you an example, right? How dedication is, what supporting football is, about love for the football club and not hatred for your football club. This is what love is, right? I used to finish work after my 12-hour shift. I would go home, get myself prepared, get my Man United shirt, put my Man United shirt, go off to Victoria, London, Victoria, right? Get on that coach, get an overnight coach to Manchester, right? To Manchester Airport. Get in that airport, meet up with other Man United fans, right? In the early hours of the morning, no sleep, okay? Just on the coach, whatever I can pick up. No sleep, fly off to whatever destination I went for the Champions League, fly off to whatever destination, right? Watch the game. We land in the city centre. We're taken to the city centre, have a little laugh, right? Then we go to the game, watch the game. Straight after the game, we're back, flying back to Manchester. I land in Manchester. I have to wait for the coach back to London. I arrive early hours of the morning and I'm going to work. That is love for the football club. I don't think people quite understand what that is. I don't think they quite understand what love for the football club is. We're full of petulant, impatient little brats. That's what our football club is full of at the moment. Petulant little brats who can't take a little bit of patience. They can't have a little bit of patience because they made up their mind. Absolutely. A bunch of crackheads on stream. Crackheads on basically on stream. Crackheads on stream. That's it. That's what I'm going to call it. A new show. Tune in, Crackheads on Stream. Absolutely. Today, it's this guy. He's a man-dem. He's a crackhead. He's a this. And here we go. This is what it's all about, guys. Absolutely. Here we go. Kenny, 21 likes. 21 is coming. 21, Man United. 21. I say 21, Man United. You people, this is what we're talking about here, right? You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. It's all about the passion, guys. Absolutely. Kenny, I don't even take Nuruddin seriously. He wants Man United to win. I mean, this guy, listen, guys, I ain't got nothing but love for him. But you know what? Skankanansi, I wonder what happened to them. He's right over there, guys. Absolutely. Ryan, Sal, in your eyes, why did Walton have a good performance against United? Can I be honest with you, Ryan? I'm going to be totally honest with you. Average performance. I put a poll up on my Twitter, right? Who had the best performance against Man United? Was it Anderson, Baleba, or Walton? Anderson's killing it. Anderson was the guy that actually changed the game. He changed the game. I mean, I know it's a different game, it's a different environment, but Anderson actually changed the game for Nottingham Forest, and I thought he was absolutely incredible. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. He was all right first half. Yeah, he was brilliant first half. I still would like him at Man United. I'm not going to turn my back on Wharton because I still think Wharton is an absolutely phenomenal player, and I think Wharton will be a phenomenal player at Man United. I do think that, absolutely. I'm not going to just turn my back in it. I'm not entitled, as we say. Of course, he was brilliant because he was allowed to play second half. When we closed him down, he wasn't good, obviously, but he was a very good player. One thing I learned, Benny, at the weekend, I don't know who told me it, but he's never scored for Crystal Palace. Strange, isn't it? Prince, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, my guy. Hope you're doing blessed up, my friend. Good to see you. Big up, LT. What's going on? 14 games, Sal, 6 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses. That means United improvement in terms of results, and we have a positive, good goal difference, which haven't had in years. And yet, some fans say, guys, these people don't know what a rebuild is. Man United are in a unique situation where Man United are in a historical moment where we can go down or we can go up, right? Man United are unique. We're not just like any other football club because Man United should be there, but we're down there, right? At the end of the day. And what we have to look at is that Man United are run by the Glazers, which are potentially pound for pound the worst owners in world football, in world any sport. And then we got obviously Ineos. So we need to look at that, right? So Man United are on the verge of being bankrupt, or I mean, according to Ineos, only a year ago, last December, which it didn't happen. Of course, it didn't happen. Of course, guys. But you know what? We have to understand where we are as a football club. And we've got an opportunity here, guys. We've got an opportunity to get in the Champions League. We beat West Ham. We beat Wolves. All of a sudden, guys, we're up there. Look, I understand. I'm a little bit concerned about some results that we get. Certain results that we get are not good enough. I know that. The Everton game. But as I spoke about, some people don't really like to analyze football. They just look at results. When we went to the Emirates last season, we played against Arsenal with 10 men, right? And we played 120 minutes, right? And we won against Arsenal on penalties, right? We were down to 10 men for a while and we beat Arsenal. Why did we beat Arsenal? Because sometimes when you play 2 banks of 4, right, it's very difficult to break down, right? It's very difficult to break down. And this is what Everton did. Now, one of Man United's biggest problems, and it's the biggest problem that I foresee in the West Ham game on Thursday, one of the biggest problems that I foresee is the low block. Man United have a problem with the low block, but Man United haven't had a problem with the low block under Ruben Amorim. They've had a problem with the low block under Erik ten Hag and etc. and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is why when Man United had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge, the way Man United thrived was on the counter-attack. They played counter-attacking football. They wanted the team to come at us. This is what we're talking about, right? So people are not analyzing that. So what Ruben Amorim is trying to do is change this culture. Change this culture. And it's difficult. It's not easy to change a culture of a football team. It's a bit like getting, for example, let me say, for example, Southampton and say, right, Southampton, I want you to stop playing low block now, and I want you to come out and start attacking these teams and play more expansive, skillful football. Now, when you look at these players that we've got, you know, you can't turn Peter Crouch into prime Ronaldinho. You can't turn certain players into players that are not. You cannot change the spots on a leopard and stuff like that. And this is what people don't understand. Until Ruben Amorim has the majority of his own team, we cannot judge him. Now, people are going to throw out the notion that, oh, but you know what, Everton and Tottenham don't need their own players. Yes, they do. If you want to qualify for the Champions League, you need your own players. You need your own players. The manager needs his own players. You think Chelsea? When Maresca walked in Chelsea, they go, oh, just work with what you've got. Mold what you've got. You know, do you think they said that? Do you think they said that with Arne Slot? Do you think they said that with Arteta? No, they don't. And I've already shown you Arteta's team that he inherited when he went to Arsenal. I've shown you that team, haven't I? You know, with Torreira and Maitland-Niles and players like that. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, when a manager comes into a football club with a distinctive style of play, right, it's going to take time to change it because Man United have never played that style before. Unfortunately, just like we said, before Ruben Amorim walked into the football club, we spoke to these people and we said, look, you've got to be patient. You've got to be patient. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, they're not. You know, they just, you know, they can't take it. Look, last season, guys, I'm not one of those guys who are going to be delusional. Last season was unacceptable. But we also have to learn the context of what happened last season, guys. You want to sack Ruben Amorim, that's your prerogative. You want to sack Ruben Amorim, that's fine. That's your opinion. You want to sack Ruben Amorim, that's fine. I think you're impatient, but that's fine. Who are we going to get in? Who next? Who's in line? Who's in next? And what style of football do you want Man United to play? You want to play a 4-3-3 that Eric Ten Hag played and you hounded him out of the football club, even though we won 2 trophies and came second place in the league, third place in the league. You want a 4-3-3 that we lost 7-0 to Liverpool with. You want that, right? Okay, let's do that then. Let's do that. Let's get another manager in that plays a 4-3-3. Let's get Areola. Why not get Glasner? Glasner got schooled at the weekend, didn't he? Or let's get Xavi, who got schooled by Eric Ten Hag. Who are we going to get? Who are we going to get? I want to know who we're going to get into this team that is going to improve Manchester United. Which manager do you think will improve it? Stop talking, oh, that's not my job. Then if it's not your job to say who you want as a manager, it's not your job to call the manager to be sacked, is it? It works both ways at the end of the day. Now, people, like you said, people have been on this channel before, tactical snowflakes and all them people, right? People like that have their opinion. They've stuck to that opinion. Even though we're winning, we've been unbeaten in 5. When we're going on 5, they still remained negative. And this is what we're talking about at the end of the day. You know, Stuybeck, they're looking for fans. Maybe they should go and support them. Stuybeck or Lillestrom or something like that. Because at the end of the day, you know, what I'm talking about here, support the football club. Try and be a little bit more zealous, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, we're not losing at the moment. We won against Crystal Palace. And as I said at the beginning of the show, you would have thought that we lost the game at the weekend. You know, I understand, guys. I analyze football. Some of the play we have is poor. Some of the football we have is poor. But Ruben Amorim doesn't send a team out there to not being able to pass a 2-yard ball, not being able to beat his first man, not being able to cross a ball, picking the wrong choice and that. Ruben Amorim doesn't do that. That's a talent thing. That's a talent thing. This is what we're talking about. But we're still managing to get results. So against the likes of Liverpool, against the likes of Palace away, which Palace at home, by the way, they're going to win a lot of games, guys. That's what it is. Good morning, Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, legend. Hope everything is blessed with you, mate. Hope everything is good. Morning, Dan. What's going on? Morning, Sal. Even if Man United got relegated again, like the 73-74 season, I would still never support another club, United, till I die, whether we win or lose. Absolutely. Thank you so much, my guy. Absolutely. I mean, and I know some people were at that season, guys. I know some people. One of them lives here in Abu Dhabi, guys, and I know him pretty well. He's been supporting Man United since the 70s, and he's seen the Man United relegation and things like that. And these people remain Man United fans because they don't understand what Man United like about football, about sport in general. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, look, Man United might get a new manager in. We might sack Ruben Amorim. We might get relegated. They're never going to hold that, are they? They're never going to hold that. They're never going to say that at the end of the day. I believe in what Man United want. I believe in if Man United want to sack Ruben Amorim, then I'm not going to get in the way of it because at the end of the day, I'm not Ruben Amorim FC. I'm not Player FC. I'm Manchester United FC. That's exactly what I am. So if Ruben Amorim doesn't get results, then he needs to go. That's it at the end of the day. But so do some of those players because a lot of those players lack quality, lack mentality, and lack the cultural element in regards to playing for this great football club, which is the culture element is not giving up. You know, having character in regards to when the adversity strikes, you've got character to come back into game. People think it was just a talent thing when we were winning things. It wasn't just a talent thing. It was a character thing. It was a cultural thing. It was a mentality thing, you know, that we never give up. Even if we are 2-0 down with 5 minutes to go, we can come back and win 3-2. That is what Man United used to do, right? I've been at a game when we've been 3-1 down to Newcastle with 10 minutes to go and won 4-3. You know what I mean? I've been at those games. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. And we didn't necessarily have the talent. You think Chicharito was the best striker in Europe? No. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we had players there that just had the same goal, the same vision, and take, you know what, the same ambition as everyone else. We were one and we were going forth with what we want at the end of the day. You know, and I would say it like this, loudly, with chest, that Man United had never necessarily had the most talented players, but we had the most talented team. And that is what it is, guys. Absolutely. Prince, hit the like button. Thank you so much, my guy. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're blessed. Big up, Lawrence. I want to say, where are you with the quality of the current squad's current United star, which seems to be the hot topic of the week? Look, at the end of the day, mate, we've been here a long time, mate. And let me give you an example of where Man United were in regards to style of football. Man United's style of football has been going since Alex Ferguson days. If you scroll back to 2013, where we won the league, we had a very, very poor style of play. And this style of play has been resonating all the way through the years, ever since Sir Alex Ferguson went, and we've had a poor style of play. When can you remember Man United playing great football over this last 12 years? When? You can't really remember, innit? You can remember odd games here and there, but you can't remember how Man United playing a great style of play. How do we change that? How do we change that? It's being patient with a project, right? We're not patient with a project. When we look at since Alex Ferguson retired, right? We look at when Alex Ferguson retired. We haven't had a proper direct vision. We've had, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Jose Mourinho, David Moyes, Ragnick, Eric Ten Hag, Michael Carrick, Ryan Giggs, whatever. It's been a big kerfuffle and mix of different style managers. This is why we don't have a style of play. This is why when Arteta came into Arsenal and Arteta came 8th place twice, that, and won nothing. And you know what? He went and he went and he went and he tried and he tried. And eventually he's feeling the fruits of the labor. I know it cost $1 billion. It's a very expensive fruit, but he's feeling the fruits of the labor. And this is what it is. Man United are like, the seed starts to go, cut it by the sauce. And that's what it is at the end of the day. Look, at the moment, we're getting results, right? Right. We lost to Everton, fair enough, right? That's one game over the last 7 games, right? We're getting results. We won away to Liverpool. We beat Burnley. We beat Sunderland. We beat Crystal Palace away. We've had some good results. We didn't lose to Tottenham. Anyone would have thought we lost to Tottenham. We drew with 10 men. Let's not forget that as well, right? And, this is what we're talking about, okay? Right. Let's see what happens. If we beat West Ham, we beat Wolves, and then what we're going to say now. This is what it is. It's exactly what we're talking about. People go from, the results ain't good, to the style of football ain't good. We can't win. At the end of the day, Ruben Amorim wins, it's the players. Ruben Amorim loses, it's the manager. This is the culture that we have at the moment at the football club. The people, the mandem. This is the culture that we have at the football. It's ridiculous. Good morning, Stephanie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Glory, glory. Man United. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Revert 7. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Following United cost a lot of money and time. I remember many going to work the next day, bleary-eyed, and hosts were worth it, and United won. At the end of the day, I've been there, seen it, done it, won the t-shirt. I used to work nights and days, and I used to go and see my football club loads of times. I've seen Man United play. Goodness me, must be nearly 1,000 times. And one thing that resonates is the love for the football club, right? Whether we're losing 1-0 or we're losing 3-0 or we're losing 4-1, it doesn't matter. It's the love for the football club. You know what I mean? I've been at games where we've been smacked up 4-0, 5-0. I've been to games, I was at the 6-3 with Southampton. I've been at games like that, you know what I mean? But what resonated most is that our support for the football club. Ultimately, we all want success for a football club. We all do it. We all want success. But people just want to feed into the narrative of their mates. And their mates, which is the mandem, they go, oh, yes, the Brady bunch, like a bunch of them in a stream. Like, yeah, you're right. And that's what it is at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And I don't do that. I don't follow the crowd. I'm not a sheep FC. I don't do that. I do my own team. You know what I mean? Just like I've done from the beginning of time. Since I was around, guys. This is why, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, ever since I've done music, ever since I've done that, ever since I worked with platinum selling artists, whatever I've done, and worked with platinum selling artists in the studio, and goodness me, putting Leighton on the map. You know what I mean? Ever since that. You know what I mean? So these guys, they have their duplicated opinions of every single one else. You know what I mean? Whether you're a 40-year-old Norwegian who lives in Norway who just wants Erik Ten Hag out, get him out, pretending to be a Man United fan, never been to a Man United game, or you know what, you're a seasoned Man United fan like me. You know what I mean? Who's been to a lot of games, guys, and love this football club. Big up Revert 7. Cunha is very good against low block teams. Glad he's available. Absolutely, Kenny. Big up, Kenny. Maresca already have a bunch of quality midfielders and forwards, exactly, and spent a lot of money as well. We are like many other Premier League teams this season, looking at set pieces, even long throws to get around bus being part. Arsenal started that anyway. Arsenal playing the long throw, absolutely. I mean, do you remember when Stoke City used to get criticized for the long throw and stuff like that? It's part of football. You got to find, look, but at the end of the day, let me just tell you something about set pieces and things like that, guys. Let's not forget that Man United won a treble with set pieces, right? Let's not forget that. Man United won a treble with set pieces. I have no bones about picking in regards to teams winning games with set pieces, because Man United done it pretty well, right? I could take you through the birds and the bees about Man United's history with set pieces. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. So set pieces are a big part of football. This is why Beckham played for Man United. Do you know what I mean? And so long as well. Do you know what I mean? Set pieces and crosses. LT, we also forget... but let me just read Ephraim. Sorry, Sal. Some of our fans want to be everything, have to be perfect to win. They are not happy with win. Guys, look. I'm not sitting there saying that Man United, Ruben Amorim is going to be the chosen one. He's going to be the Messiah. He's going to be this guy. I'm not sitting there saying that. What I'm saying is that, listen, guys, we're in a little bit of a better moment at the moment. Why not show a little bit of support? Why not show a bit of enthusiasm? Why? Because it gets clicks and likes. That's why they don't want to do that. They don't want to be seen to be going against their opinion because it undermines them. When they've already undermined themselves as a Man United fan, as they've already outed themselves as a fake. And that's what it is at the end of the day. You know, and prove me wrong. LT, we also forget about Amram has only 5 signings, including Dorgu and all these. Dorgu's not his signing, though. Absolutely. Yeah, Dorgu came when Eric Ten Hag was there. And all these people, and he was agreed the December before. People who expect him Polish a turd, delusional, and we all know that we haven't. And the thing with Dorgu's not his guy. He wouldn't have chosen Dorgu. It was Ineos who chose Dorgu, and it was obviously under Eric Ten Hag's guidance, wasn't it? So that was agreed before, and I'm the one who broke Dorgu before anyone knew who Dorgu was on Stretford Post, of course, guys. So yeah, but yeah, he's had 4 players in. He had the goalkeeper last minute. Let's not forget that. Last minute, which cost us the game against Arsenal, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Because we had Bain there in goal. What was your favourite ground in London? My favourite ground in London? I love going to White Hart Lane, to be honest. I love the lane. I like Stamford Bridge. Stamford Bridge is good. Fulham Broadway. I used to love Fulham Broadway because it's a nice area. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I used to go down a lot. I used to go to Sony a lot, of course. We used to do a lot of work with Sony. But yeah, look, Sony Records. But, if I was to say a good day out, if I was to say what a beautiful place, and I would say Fulham. If out of everything, it's between Chelsea, Fulham, Tottenham's all right, but if you want to go to a football ground, Fulham. The walk through the park with the Thames, it's beautiful. And yeah, I was at that game when Ronaldo went all the way up and buried it in the corner. You know, that very, very important 2007, I think it was. Yeah, I was there. You know what I mean? Celebrating with Cristiano Ronaldo and all that. That was a fantastic time, of course, when we that sort of elevated us to win the league, of course. Absolutely. Same. Embassy says a big up Revert 7. Big up my guy. Big up. People are out there just to ignore place, haven't been beaten at home since the season started until Sunday. Yeah, that's the way it is. Lawrence, last week showed me 2 things. Moyes is a better coach than Glasner on his day, yes. We still have technical players while most clubs struggle with 2 big games a week, like Arsenal too. Some take it to advantage, though. It depends who you are. Man United took it to their advantage when won the treble. You know what? A competitive football habit is very good as well. As a guy in sport, I would say that as a guy in sport, won 2 marathons, by the way. Benny, Manchester United players hold each other accountable, leaders, characters, winners. Absolutely, Benny. Now, Christian, morning, Sal. If a DM is our main target this coming transfer window, if you can improve the team, where will you invest if given 80 million after getting your DM? Good question. Well, who would I improve in the DM? I mean, DM is sorted. I like a new number 8. I know that sounds funny, but I would like a new number 8. I would like to get Anderson and another midfielder. I would, but if midfielder was taken out the equation, I would like to get a Vanderson, a proper right wing back, a DiMarco. You know what I mean? Someone like that, someone who could solidify the wing back areas. If we're going to be carrying on with Ruben Amram, of course, guys, absolutely. Benny, all this hate, media driven, and unfortunately our fans eat up. They eat it up, and obviously because it gets clicks and likes and they love it, innit? The clicks and like brigade, of course, the man dem and stuff like that. Big up. Toxie, good morning, Sal. Good morning, Toxie. How you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is okay with you, of course, guys. Big up yourself. Absolutely. We have a style of play, but it's not yet the quality because there's not enough players who fit the system because it needs intensity, proper midfield pivot. And people don't understand that. This is the thing, LT, like they don't understand that you can't turn, for example, Wayne Rooney moved into midfield when he was playing and he's not a midfielder and he done shit. Of course, you need the players for your system, especially if it's a unique, distinctive style of play. You know, if Ineos didn't want to spend the money, they shouldn't have got Ruben Amram in. When Ruben Amram has his system in, it's proven to work. And that's the one thing about it. And he hasn't been backed enough. 4 out of 10 is not good enough. Who would you prefer, Yusuf Fofana or Edison? My goodness me. Either one, Toxie. Look, in regards to experience, you would say Edison. He would be coming to the team and do well. Fofana, obviously, more of a future sort of thing. Yusuf Fofana, I think he's a different type of player, though, isn't he? He's a different type of player compared to, obviously, Ederson. But you know what I would say, Toxie, my guy? You know what I would say? I say anything that comes in January, right, I will be happy with because I'm not expecting much, right? I'm not expecting much. I'm hearing noises from people I trust and stuff around the football club that Man United are going to do this, going to do that in the January transfer window. Now, that remains to be seen, of course. So I'm going to wait and see and play that by ear, see what happens. But if Man United do manage to do some deals in January, I'm going to be happy with that, even if it is Conor Gallagher. I'm happy with Conor Gallagher. I'm not going to downplay and criticize and slander Conor Gallagher because he's not a fashionable signing and things like that. That's not what I do. What I'm going to do is like, I'm going to say, like, if we sign anyone in January, it's a bonus to me because you know what? I don't expect anything from Ineos. And this is one thing people are not even mentioning, right? I said it at the beginning of the season. You know, don't be going blaming Ruben Amorim when things don't go right because we had a 4 out of 10 window. Go blame the board. Go and blame Ineos. But you know what? People are very, very fickle in football. They forget about that. They forget about forgetting, you know, of certain, you know, aspects that contribute towards losing. They just look at the front page of the cover, which is the manager. He's the front page. He's going to get blamed and stuff like that. Guys, look, by all means, if you want to get rid of the manager, it's up to the board. Get rid of the manager. Go ahead, get rid of him. But you know what? You're not going to come back to me and say, Sal, you're all right, actually, when it goes tits upwards again. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, as it has done since Eric Ten Hag. Man like Jengas, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing blessed. Good to see you, my guy in the house, of course, guys. And big up everyone. 80 people in the house, guys. We need at least 50 likes for the show, guys. Don't forget to smash a like on the video on the way in, guys. Don't be a sod. Just smash a like, guys. Absolutely. Lawrence, I'm for Semenyo to supply more goals of our midfielders could be used. I'm for Semenyo. Where are you going to play Semenyo? He's not going to play left wing back, mate. He's not going to play there. We've already got Cunha. We've already got Bremo. Why would we sign Semenyo? Why? Squad depth. You know, why would we sign Semenyo? Play him on the left wing back? He's not going to play there, mate. He's not going to play there. Man United need midfielders, not wingers and stuff like that. We got goals. Playing Semenyo is not going to give us more goals. we got Cunha and Bremo, who had more goals than him last season. More assists than him last season. So where are we working from here? Guys, it's like basically recency biased. And Bremo and Cunha both had individually more than Semenyo last season. Where are we going with this? You know what I mean? Ederson and Gallagher is a very uncuffed player. Big up, my friend. What's uncuff? What's that uncuff? What's that? Gallagher is a very uncuff. I'm not sure what you mean by that, brother. Christian, is there a chance of getting Stiller in the winter window? Love him to replace Bruno. Pity we didn't go for Palmer. I mean, at the end of the day, in regards to Stiller, Stiller prefers to move to Real Madrid. It doesn't mean that the deal is off. He just prefers a move to Real Madrid, and fair enough. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Real Madrid are looking for a midfielder. They're actually looking at Adam Wharton as well, Real Madrid, to be honest with you. They're looking at him, but still as one of the players that are on the wish list of Real Madrid. Of course, Jengas. Gallagher gives me Robbie Savage running around like Modri with a bad hairdo. Gallagher's a good player, Jengas. I mean, you have to watch player and analyze football to understand what he is. At the end of the day, I don't analyze football and say, I kick ball in goal. Yay. That's not how I analyze football. I analyze football. You're looking at Gallagher because he's not a fashionable signing. He's a very good player. Absolutely. You won't become an England international if you're crap. He's an attacking option, Semenyo. We have constant injury problems and Cunha. But we're not going to sign a bench player, mate. You know, we need midfielders, mate. Watch Man United and you'll understand. We need midfielders. We're Bagel FC. We need midfielders. Semenyo will be probably one of the last players I would sign right now. You know what I mean? If Man United are going to sign a player up in attacking sense, they need a striker, a number 9, not a winger. An inverted striker, winger sort of malarkey. Cunha and Bremo have better stats than him. We got that sorted. We need another striker. If we're going to get anyone up front, that's what we need. You know what I mean? Semenyo is just a fashionable signing for people who like new toys. That's exactly what it is. At the end, I don't play with toys. I play with logic. You know what I mean? That's it. And that is not the computer logic. I play with logic. So when I know analyze Man United, of course. Semenyo is like the icing on the cherry on the cake. Right, if we sign Anderson, we sign Wharton, or we sign Baleba, we sign Gume, or we sign Lamine Kamara, whoever we sign, and then we fix the wing back positions, and Semenyo will be that guy who will be coming into the football team as a squad, guys. Gallagher's a very good player against teams in a low block. Very clever on the ball. Very good pass on the ball. Can thread balls. He's not fashionable, guys. You know what I mean? Because his name's Gallagher and it's not Gallaghinho. You know what I mean? That's what people look at. They look at, oh, his name's not Gallaghinho. So, you know what I mean? I'm not going to pick him because his name's Gallagher and he plays at Chelsea reject. Look, guys, as a stopgap, he will be good. As a stopgap. Jengas, I was joking. I know Gallagher has qualities. I prefer Edison. He's better technically and offers more. In Serie A, in an easier league, maybe you say that, Jengas. What makes you say that? Talk to me about Edison, because I know everything about Edison. How is he better technically on the ball? How? Talk to me about how he's better in assisting, how he's better in controlling the ball. Talk to me. You know, because I know about Edison. I've been watching Edison for the last 6 months. So tell me about his stats and that. Go and look on Google. Tell me about it. Actually, it's not that much different, to be honest with you. Actually, Conor Gallagher's a better technical baller than him. Yeah. And he's playing in a harder league, you know, in regards to that. It's just because his name's a Gallagher and you look at Edison, you think, oh my goodness, just like watching Brazil. You know what I mean? You think, yeah, he's going to be better than Gallagher. But I don't necessarily think that. I like both players, but I don't necessarily think that. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's absolute myth. You know, at the end of the day, Edison probably wouldn't get in the England squad. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, you know. Big up, Donya. What's going on, my friend? Daniel, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up, my friend. Good to see you. I hope everything is blessed. Mark, last year, after 13 games, we had a conceded 13. This year's 20 goals after 13 games, 35%. No, we seems to want to talk about the defence. Injuries have played a part, of course. Now, Gallagher is a good price. You can spend the money saved on a fashionable Premier League midfielder, so you can have two to replace the old boys. I'm going to say good price. You can spend the money on a fashionable Premier League midfielders, so you have to replace the old boys. There's no old boys. Cunha and Umbremo not old. We need two midfielders, to replace, definitely. Definitely. Edison is levels above. He dominated Liverpool at home and away, and so as many teams over the thing. He's not levels above, mate. He's not levels above. You got to look at Atalanta. That Atalanta team was good, not just Edison. He didn't dominate. At the end of the day, that's your opinion, though. You like Edison, fair play to you, but I don't think he's better than Conor Gallagher. I don't think he's better. And I do this for a living, and I watch this for a lot, guys, with all due respect. Guys, would you have Watkins if Emery goes for Jackson, which is knows well a Premier League proven striker? Would you take Watkins if Emery goes for Jackson? Not now, mate. Not now, Christian. I don't think so. Edison also plays, so does Conor Gallagher. You like him, that's great. You know what I mean? Fair play to you. You like Edison. I like both of them. I'm not going to say one or the other's better because I actually think that Conor Gallagher will be good at Atlanta. If he was playing in Serie A, he will be like McTominay. McTominay is player of the year in Italy. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. And, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, McTominay wouldn't be player of the year in Spain. No, that's what I'm talking about. The league is easier. At the end of the day, even this great Brazilian team wouldn't. I'm not picking him. You know, this rubbish Brazilian team, should I say? But everyone is down to their own opinions, and that's great. Fair play to you. You like that? You know what I mean, guys? Jenga, look. At the end of the day, Premier League proven is not an absolute for me. I just like both players. I would happy with both players. I'm not going to come in here and say that one is better than the other because you know what? Jengas, you know what? It depends on who fits. It depends. Edison might fit better than Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher might fit better than Edison. Who knows? Who knows? You know, who knows? A player playing in League One right now who we don't know about. We never scouted. We never spoken about. Who's the best? You know what I mean? Who knows? I like Casemiro in the system, but he can't be like Modric in the Premier League going on for forever. Unsure who will replace Bruno when his contract is up. True, my guy. True, Lawrence. Casemiro's finished. Casemiro's done that here, in my opinion. He's finished, in my opinion. Daniel, I think Amram needs to get his team playing one-touch football. We take too long on the ball, leads to mistakes, and it is United DNA. Also, I'm thinking we should get Gallagher, Wharton, and Anson. Big up, Daniel. Can I just say something, Daniel? Telling these Man United players, I'm talking about Luke Shaw, Maguire, Dalot, Bruno, Casemiro, Mount to play one-touch football. You're trying to teach a leopard to have spots in different places. Because when you're talking about Man United playing a tiki-taka style of football, you're trying to tell, as I said, I'm sorry to keep mentioning Peter Crouch, but you're trying to tell Peter Crouch to play like Ronaldinho. That's what you're trying to do. And it's very difficult. You can lead a cow to the water, doesn't mean the cow's going to drink from the water. Do you know what I mean? You can lead a cow to water, doesn't mean the cow's going to drink from the water. These players are simply not good enough. And that's what it is. Jengus, Gomez or Edison in January would be my choice, and Anson Bawadi in summer. You know what I would say, Jengus, if that happened, I would be delighted. Delightful. It would be lovely. Bawadi's been slept on. Love Bawadi. I think someone should sign him up quickly before someone else gets him, of course, for Man City get him. Of course, Anderson, Bawadi, brother. Jengus, Khan, my guy. I would love that, mate. I would love that. If we manage to make that happen, but do you trust Ineos to do that? And this is exactly what we're talking about here. Whether it's Conor Gallagher, whether it's Edison, Anderson, Bawadi, Wharton, do you trust Ineos to do the business? Do you trust Ineos to make it happen? Do you trust them to support Ruben Amorim? And this is exactly what we've been talking about from the beginning of the season. They didn't support Ruben Amorim. You know what I mean? They could have got Edison, Jengus. They could have got Edison in summer, right? They could have got him then. You know, they could have got these players in the summer. They could have got Conor Gallagher in the summer. They could have got Bawadi in the summer. They could have got Agume in the summer. They could have got Lamine Kamara, Yavi Guerra, Yori Giza from Athletic Bilbao. They could have got all these players in the summer, but they didn't do that, did they? They left him, you know, with one hand tied behind his back. You know, Nicky, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Fans are running a new narrative that if Ineos don't spend January window, then Amorim is not backed. Well, yeah, they had a 4 out of 10 window, Nicky, in the summer, which was not good enough. He needs more. If they need to back him in the January, let me tell you why. Because rumours are circulating. Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea are going to invest in January. So Man United can't be falling behind. If they truly believe in a winning football team, if they truly believe in Man United being successful and qualifying for the Champions League, and we're close, guys, then they need to back Ruben Amorim in January and in the summer and not have these ridiculous 4 out of 10 windows. You know what I mean? Which it was. You know what I mean? When Man United came 15th, we needed a complete overhaul. We haven't had that. Rashford is still not sold. He'll be back. Onana is still not sold. He'll be back. Anthony is sold. Fair enough. Rasmus is still not sold. He'll be back. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. I worry about Gallagher and Chelsea reject, and Atletico want to sell him at Leicester. I mean, it's Mark, it's going to be a stopgap. That's the thing. You know, it won't be something. It'd be good for the squad. Trust me. Not many English players go to Spain and flourish. It's very difficult. Rumours going on that Elliot Anderson wants City. Rumours, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes City because Man City will probably make that deal happen. Man United are snoozing, losing. You know? Yeah, Ineos hung Amorim out to dry with that last one. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. We need 2 in minimum. You know, that's what we need. 2 in January, a minimum. You know, we even need maybe 2 midfielders and an attacker because obviously the AFCON's going on as well. We're not going to do it though, are we? This is the thing. Ineos must be tempted by going at 26 million in January instead of Gomez at 50 million, and then fans will be calling for Anderson at 78 in the summer. I mean, one thing I would have concerns about, guys, and this is something that I want to bring into the show, is obviously Bruno playing in that number 8 position. I just don't think Bruno works there. And if I was to criticize Ruben Amorim about anything, it is Bruno in that position, in my opinion. Dan, they have to back him in January. We aren't stacked, especially midfield, and the defense ain't good enough. I think, you know what I would say, Dan? I think one of the reasons the defense ain't good enough is because obviously, you know, confidence, number one. We're getting Leacher back. We've been playing Luke Shaw as a centre-back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm blaming Luke Shaw. We've been playing Luke Shaw as a centre-back, guys. Some people think that Luke Shaw should be in a treble-winning season team. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I heard that yesterday. Sir Alex always said, if you play the kids, they will run through a brick walls for you. There's no such thing as young. You will work harder. What Sir Alex Ferguson said is that you play the youth, they'll seldom let you down. They won't let you down. You play the youth, they'll run through brick walls for you. And the reason they'll run through brick walls for you, and I'll give you an example, David Beckham, right? Sir Alex Ferguson, not only David Beckham, Gary Neville, Philip Neville, Paul Scholes, and all these players, right, they're in debt to Alex Ferguson because Alex Ferguson's the reason that they have the life that they have right now. Now, if you give a young player a chance, they're going to run through brick walls for you because you are the reason that they have that platform, that they have the opportunity. I don't know how mentality is these days. Obviously, mentality is different these days. People don't really appreciate people who give them opportunities and stuff like that, who are good to them and stuff. I think we live in a different generation and everything like that, if I'm being honest with you guys. But yeah, look, what I would say is that, yeah, look, we need to, what I would do, can I be honest? JJ Gabriel, by the way, a little bit of news, guys. JJ Gabriel, by the way, is eligible. He's eligible to play in the FA Cup. So maybe we can bring JJ Gabriel. Maybe we can, when the FA Cup happens in January, we can bring JJ Gabriel into the team and he can play a couple of games here and there, of course. We need a striker, especially if Xerxes leaves in January. I don't know if Xerxes will leave now. Imagine Xerxes plays on Thursday, right? And he scores a couple of goals. I want Judge Amram probably until he has at least 10 of his own players absolutely in that squad, because what he has inherited simply aren't good enough. Thank you so much, Benny. It is the bottom line, guys. On that note, that is the bottom line, and that is how we're going to end the show, because that is absolutely spot on. How can you judge someone? How can you judge someone when he hasn't got the tools to do the job? You know, you're basically giving me, but this is what they're doing, right? They're giving me a pack of peas, a loaf of bread, an apple, and a glass of orange juice to make a lasagna. That's what they're asking Ruben Amram to do. You know, that's what they're asking Ruben Amram to do at the moment. Lawrence, Xerxes as a second striker is making everybody happy, getting a value from him and taking the pressure off Sesko. He may even stay behind Summer as Højlund not coming back. Big up, Lawrence. Look, all I was very happy for Xerxes at the weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I felt it. I was happy for him. I like Xerxes. I think Xerxes is a great personality. I really do. Now, one thing I really liked about the weekend as well, in regards to a little mushy sort of emotional end to the show, is the fact that Lenny Yoro was taken off, and he's had a lot of criticism. He's changed his Instagram profile and stuff like that, everything like that, which is disgraceful because, again, the man them have been jumping on him, right? The end of the game, he's only 20 years old, guys, a kid, right? The end of the game, Mason Mount went up to Lenny Yoro. He put his arm around him and said, listen, lad, we got you. And I think we all echo this same feeling. The Man United fan base, the real Man United fans, not the man them, the real Man United fans, we echo this feeling. You know, we echo that, you know what? We look after our own. We look after our young players. You know what I mean? This is what we do, guys. And this is how we should be. This is what Man United are. Because we've forgotten this. We have it self-entitled, low ball knowledge, get me bruv merchants who just don't understand what this football club is all about. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. You absolute diamonds, you absolute legends. I'm Sal Warner, of course, and I shall see you for the Chatterbox later on, guys. But guys, don't forget, please, 50 likes on the show. Guys, I've got 76 in now. Please, guys, don't forget to smash a like, you legends. Please, you legends. Guys, I want to say again, as I say every single show, thank you, everyone who supports the channel, who continue to support the channel, whether we agree or we don't agree. That's football. I love a debate. This is not personal. It's just a football debate, okay? We all want what's best for the football club. We all want what's best. As long as, you know, we all want a successful football club at the ultimately. Now, I might be wrong. You might be wrong. We all might be wrong. At the end of the day, we don't know what's going to get us to the promised land. The only thing is we're striving to get back to the promised land, ain't we? That's what we're trying to do, guys. But absolutely. Let me just read out the legends. Big up, Dan. What's going on? Thank you so much, Efren. I agree. Yeah, big up Euro. Absolutely. Big up Euro all day long. Euro is going to be a generational, guys, and we need to look after him because, guys, he was not wanted by Real Madrid because he's rubbish. You know what I mean? This is what we're saying. It's clear that Amram will live and die by that Bruno in centre midfield this season, and that's why we needed 6 with legs and a centre-backs to enter the midfield during the game. And big up, Lenny Yoro. We still love you. Always. It never stopped. Absolutely. Never stop. Big up, Dan. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. Love you all, guys. Thank you for the support again. Don't forget to smash a like on the way out, guys. Please. Really appreciate it. Great show. See you later. Have a great day. Great Tuesday. Take it easy. Peace.